Share this motherfucker to all the groups. I want this shared with all the groups. Put this shit in all the groups. Share this with all the groups. Put this in Angry Fan. Put this bitch in Western Conference. Put this bitch in Talkback. We gon' big chop it up, but we need this to be shared in all of the groups. So everybody, right now, share this in Western Respect, Western Conference, Angry Fan, Talkback, Ruin Your Day, Bots. Every single group, share this motherfucker, bro. Because this is like, if you care about West Coast battle rap, this is probably the most important matchup that's ever been set up. And I'm proud to have any type of involvement in this, and proud that the company that I work for was able to facilitate this in a very professional, mature manner that doesn't affect anybody negatively, and is going to be literally a clash of the two most esteemed battle rappers from the West Coast over the past several years. This is a dream match. This is a motherfucking dream match. You feel me? It don't really get... This is the kind of thing you get to see once in a lifetime, and I'm glad that I get to be front and center for this shit. So before we really get to dissecting this matchup, looking over the different angles, looking over the different, analyzing everyone's predictions, seeing who y'all think is gonna win and who's gonna lose, etc. What the fuck, dude? It's crazy because it looks like there's like cocaine in my nose, but it's literally just the light. But I know what people think about me, so that's so crazy. It's light, see? I'm getting over a damn cold. It's not even snot. This is not Battle of the Bay 9. Battle of the Bay 9. First of all, we haven't even had Battle of the Bay 8 yet, so I don't even know what happened to Battle of the Bay 8. That's Mandela affected into a different reality. But hold that thought, because there will most likely be a Battle of the Bay 8. Please add this to all the groups. Am I good? You tell me, do I look good? Do I look good? If I don't look good, you can tell me. It's alright. I got skin like a rhinoceros, baby. I feel great. I feel great. I feel great about this. Gentrification hindered Battle of the Bay 8. Such a fact. What's up, Raimi? Let's put this in all the groups, though, before we really break this down and analyze it to its full capacity. Well, first of all, oh, I see Danny in the function. First of all, this is a matchup that it wasn't conceived by any individual person. It was conceived by the culture, especially... Oh, bars on the way. We know the bar guy got bars on the way, Danny. I just need to know if I need to wear like a bulletproof vest or like one of those like hazmat suits with the mask on it, because there's gonna be so much just like toxic fury coming from both angles. And for the motherfuckers like Organic and myself and Gully and all that standing in the center, this motherfucker said, "How's the wifey?" I got a divorce last year, bro. So how's your wifey? Where's she at? Maybe I could stick my dick in her mouth instead. I'm just playing. But I got a divorce, fool. I don't have a fucking wifey. Why don't you go look at her page and ask? Stupid ass boy. Yeah, the culture definitely conceived is beyond who actually orchestrated this matchup. This is something that had been discussed for a long time. Disaster being the most dominant factor, arguably in all of battle rap culture, but certainly in the Western region for, over a decade at this point. And Danny Myers since 2013. I mean, he was already doing his thing before the Rum Nitty battle on King of the Dot, but it was at around that moment that he really penetrated the national radar, and people were like, okay, this dude is a force to be reckoned with. And from that point on, the Bar God was born. He wasn't even using the Bar God moniker at that point. Whether or not he was born with Bar God abilities or not, that remains to be seen. Now, one thing I'll say about both these guys that I really, really like is that Danny and DIZASTER both have such a deep-rooted passion for battle rap culture that they treat every battle like it's a match of this caliber. Like, Danny don't give a fuck who he's battling. If he gets booked and the business is right, or whatever the circumstances are right, because it's beyond business, Danny is a man that operates on passion. Danny is a man that really wants to prove that he is the best lyricist in the world. And he takes every battle as an opportunity to demonstrate that, whether it's a big opponent, small opponent, big league, small league, gargantuan stage, or a basement. Danny is bringing his all to the table, and that's kind of like the same as DIZASTER. First and foremost, shouts to Shots Fired for being the original league to book this battle. Shouts to K Philo, shouts to Griffin, shouts to the whole entire motherfucking squad, you know what I'm saying? And shouts to them for doing good business with King of the Dot in order to facilitate this battle on this platform. Now, a lot of other leagues, they see battles that they feel will be the most beneficial to their platform, and that would be most advantageous for them to do. So what do? They take the battle, they block it, they throw wrenches into the equation to make it so that the battle won't happen. Well, that's not what happened here, and that's not the way King of the Dot has or ever will operate. King of the Dot operates as in all arenas, but especially in this manner, in a very integrous way, and just wants what's best for the culture, what's best for the artist, what's best for all parties involved, and the proper handles, the proper channels were gone through. That's why this battle right here wound up on the King of the Dot platform, Town Business card, Oakland, California, May 18th and May 19th. Please do not hesitate to order that pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you like matches like this, if you like the rest of the battles on the card, if you support battle rap in general, regardless of the platform, support the pay-per-view. Because as larger than life as this culture may appear to be, as profitable and attention heavy as this culture may appear to be, it is not as profitable of a business as y'all might be led to believe. So when I say we, I don't just mean myself, King of the Dot. I mean the entire culture, all leagues, all platforms, all MCs need your support. Crack City is going to be in the function. What's up, Nino? Thank you. We appreciate all those that are supporting. I would, get the pay-per-view before you can, because who knows if the price is going to rise. And if you are in the California area or have ever wanted to visit the Bay Area, now would be a great opportunity to do so. And I would recommend getting your ticket situated ASAP, because both of these days will sell out. They will sell out like Janet Jackson's titties being popped out on the Super Bowl stage. You feel me? Like, it's undebatable. So thank you everybody for participating in this culture to generate enough interest to even help a match like this manifest. Now that we have that, now that we have two of the most aggressive, hungry, and downright lethal battle rappers who happen to be from the same region going at it, and the fact that, yes, it's within the West, but it's not in LA. It's up in the Bay Area, and that's, I feel like, very, very advantageous to everyone, because it removes any potential of bias. Yes, it's in our soil, but it's not in any specific soil. It's in the West soil, so both Danny and Diz are equally revered. I want y'all's opinions. What do we think about this match? How do we feel about it? What's going to happen? Who's going to win? What do we expect from Danny? What do we expect from Diz? What type of angles are they going to use? And what do you want to see from this battle? Let's talk about it. Me personally, I just hope that, I already know that the energy in the room is going to be unfathomable. I've been there for Diz versus Cannabis. I've been there for Danny versus B-Dot. I co-hosted these battles. I was front and center. I was in the midst of the turmoil for these tense or life-changing battles. And I'm quite aware of the energy that gets exuded. But the fact that, with all the different dynamics at play here, what do y'all fucking think is going to happen? Now, second of all, let's talk about the fact that this is now a 2-day event, and the battles that have been announced on day 2 are just as high caliber, top tier, high powered, if not debatably more so than what was announced on day 1. So it's pretty much imperative, if you're a true fan of battle rap culture, particularly on the Fresh Coast, that you attend both days or watch both days. If you're in Belgrade, or Lithuania, or somewhere where you're literally not able to be in the physical presence of hip-hop history, at least to watch it while it happens. And that's why we're providing this pay-per-view for you. And who's at the helm of that? Kyle Avocado motherfucking Gray. You know what I'm saying? Shouts to ruin your day. Watch Battle Live. You know what it is. This is where it's at. The name of the card is Town Business. Now, to further explain what that means, town business is a phrase that people in Oakland say that refers to anything pertaining to local activities. Like some town shit, town business. Like, my name in it, I ain't been in it, it's town business. Your name ain't in it, you ain't been in it, it's town business. You feel me? This pertains to Oakland culture, and as I've stated multiple times, Oakland, California is the mecca of the modern manifestation of battle rap culture. Now, we know that LA right now has the most hitters. We know that LA is just on fire and has so much talent. So many dope, diverse MCs coming from all different parts of the city, bringing their talent to the forefront. We are well aware of the fact that hip-hop culture started in New York, that Kool Herc was a Jamaican who moved to the Bronx. And we understand that these are the origins of the culture. But in 2008, the modern manifestation of battle rap culture, which was based on the league format and heavily popularized on YouTube, the earlier stages from 2008 to 2010, the biggest events, the most sought after events, the battles that generated the most views and interest were all in Oakland. So this right here is some town motherfucking business. You'll put a rack on Diz? Okay, well, I'm sure there'll be plenty of people that are willing to take your bet. Although it's difficult to really equate who would win if you have something like money on the line in an instance like this, because there's no judge. Y'all are the judge. Unless somebody chokes, unless somebody has an epic failure, unless there's a clear victor, which is beyond, which supersedes opinions, which supersedes what can be spoken about, then there's no real way to assume. But I know what you mean when you say you put a rack on Diz. You're basically saying you have high confidence that Disaster is going to win that battle. I don't disagree, but I don't agree either. There's no real way to. I think is going to really, not to regurgitate a cliche that's been used a million times, but I really believe that this is going to come down to the moment. Who's going to capture the moment stronger? Who's going to get the people's attention? Who is going to capture the crowd? Which bars are going to resonate more? We both know they have an unlimited reservoir of bars. Now, when Shots Fired originally booked this battle, it was 2 rounds with an unlimited third. I believe the format is the same for this, so be prepared for a lot of motherfucking rapping. I don't think we've seen this manifestation of Disaster since 2011 when he battled DNA. There hasn't been this much tension leading up to it. So, what y'all thinking, man? Vitamin C. I just answered what the time limit was, so I'm pretty sure you, by the time you typed that, you saw that. All $2 bills. You know why too. If you don't know why, then you're not from the city. You're not from that city by the beach. Of course. But Danny is no stranger to the unlimited round danger either. Danny never lacks bars, and both of them can freestyle their asses off. Expect a lot of rebuttals. I really don't. So Corey Patrick says, Diz used to be my all-time favorite, but right now I'm thinking Danny. So, that tends to be somewhat of a general consensus. It's either one or both of these guys are in everybody's top 5. And if you look at the comments, they're pretty split down the middle already. Like, there's no real clear winner here. But this is also the type of match where there's not going to be a tie. Because I don't think either one of these guys is going to settle for anything less than a trail of blood leaking from their fucking blade. Pause. Excuse me. So KOTD TV.com. That's where you can buy your tickets. That's where you can support the pay-per-view. That's where you can ensure that battles like this continue to happen, because this shit ain't cheap. One of the reasons why the Town Business card came together in such a beautiful way, and we were able to get so many dope artists on there. Pretty much, once you see the card in its completion, you'll see that we pretty much have almost every single major current factor from the West Coast. The top 10 is all on this card. Now, the reason being, because from an organizational standpoint, we didn't approach this as a money grab. This wasn't us as King of the Dot trying to make the most money. We weren't like, what can we do to outdo ourselves so we can fucking line our pockets? What we tried to do is, our ambition was to have the most fun and create the most fun atmosphere and the most high-powered matches that we possibly could. Oh, Nino, you standing right up front, Playboy. You already know what it is. Pass ready for Diz. Well, I don't really see the relevance in that situation because Pass is battling Ill Will on this card. That way. Wheelchair emojis, if you don't know, now you know, you feel me? But just know that we see you. Yes, there are 4 more crazy battles to be announced. 4 more crazy battles to be announced. It's hard to outdo this one. I wasn't expecting this battle to be announced so soon, but I'm glad that it was because it just gave us a little extra punch that we needed to let people know what fucking time it was with this Town Business card. I actually suggested that this was the last battle announced, but I understand why my esteemed colleagues opted to announce it sooner. But yeah, there's 4 more crazy battles on the card. No GZ, all main page. So, people often forget what the original concept of the Fresh Coast was. I know that we use the phrase Western Conference now, but to me, it's the same thing. Western Conference, Fresh Coast, they're synonyms for the West Coast battle movement, and that's more than just the MCs, but the organizers, the producers, the cameramen, the fans, the DJs, everybody that encompasses the atmosphere of the West Coast. And the original concept of the Fresh Coast movement was for the Bay and LA and all the other regions within the Western United States all to be functioning together, all of us getting used to traveling to each other's cities, rolling out the blue carpet, red carpet, whatever, you know what I'm saying, welcoming everybody to do their motherfucking thing and providing an unbiased, top caliber stage for the MCs to compete on and for everybody to enjoy the scene together. And all I gotta say is Fresh goes back. Fresh goes back. You feel me? Bike. So, who I got winning Diz versus Danny, I can't even begin to fathom that because all I'm focused on is helping deliver that battle to you. So, if I start to even dwell on the concept of who's going to win that match, that takes away from my true intention. Now, on top of that, before I get to the final portion of the Q&A of this, and we do a pushing, I want to let y'all know that I recently released a new album. It's called A Saint and a Tyrant. Right now, it's only available on Bandcamp, lushone.bandcamp.com. Click on the first link of Saints and a Tyrant. Produced in its entirety by my homeboy Andre Legend. Real West Coast hip-hop shit. Bar heavy, but it's also turned up and it's also for the streets. Please listen to it. You can listen to it for free. You can purchase it for free or set whatever price you want. And very soon it will be available on all outlets. I will be doing a bunch of performances as well. There's merch being released, and I will be doing a watch of the album with Avocado and the Ruin Your Day squad next motherfucking week. In the meantime, in between time, any final questions about this battle before we do a push-in? Any final questions about any of the battles on the card before we do a push? Yeah, my tape. Dat Piff, maybe. That's a good idea. I haven't fully Yeah, probably. I was thinking about uploading it to SoundCloud, but my distribution hits when I release it through my distribution, which is CD Baby, it will hit Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon, etc. I can choose to upload it to DatPiff. Right now, I'm exclusively directing all the traffic to Bandcamp, but that's a good idea, and I probably will release it as well as some of my back catalog as well on DatPiff. I've put out 6 or 7 albums in the past year and a half, and I want everybody to get a chance to hear them all. A lot of people have been enjoying them. I know that I'm in my best shape lyrically and musically of my life. I'm really looking forward to a couple of the battles that I can't say that haven't been announced yet. But of the ones that have been announced, I'm really looking forward to Thesaurus versus Caustic, obviously. I'm really looking forward to Big K versus Rum, Pass versus Ill Will, Ill Mac versus B Magic, Mad Flex. There's not a single battle on this card that I'm not extremely hyped for. Yeah, I know the hood folk with SoundCloud pretty tough. Might need to do that. A Saint and a Tyrant is not available on Apple Music yet, but will be within 2 weeks. Right now, it is strictly available on my Bandcamp. You can listen to it for free. Download it for free, lush1.bandcamp.com, and then click on A Saint and a Tyrant. It will be on Apple Music, though. Oh yeah, they all I've heard murmurs of people saying, "Oh, this is KOTD versus URL." Nothing to do with that whatsoever. URL has their own incredible card this weekend in Atlanta. All the leagues are doing the damn thing. Shouts to AHAT, shouts to West Coast Elite, shouts to Queen of the Ring, LABG, shouts to motherfucking Shots Fired, shouts to From the Gate, shouts to motherfucking PNR, shouts to Central Coast Chambers, shouts to motherfucking, UBR, shouts to all the leagues, shouts to, of course, iBattle. Oh, that's a good question. Obviously, Diz and King of the Dot are cool, or else this battle wouldn't be happening, right? And the thing is that you got to understand, it's kind of like Tupac said in To Live and Die in L.A. We might fight amongst each other, but I promise you this, pretend this roof off, get us pissed. And that's kind of like what it is with all of us that are close-knit members of the battle rap community. We've all known each other for over a decade now at this point, and sometimes we get into it, sometimes we don't see eye to eye, sometimes things don't go as we initially planned, but that doesn't mean that the love's not there. That doesn't mean that things won't be resolved. There's been times where I can't even begin to list all the feuds and altercations I've had within battle rap culture, and how many of these people now are amongst my closest homies. So yes, Disaster and King of the Dot were able to surpass whatever disagreements were had. Exactly. All West, all love, all motherfucking day. You see me, you feel me? I got all my West LA tats. I got hella West LA all over me. But it's always West Coast on mine. I've had this tattoo since 2011. I got LA and I got Oakland on my motherfucking arm. So, you know what I mean? It's West motherfucking Coast. It's West Coast. And I'm beyond excited to help facilitate a match of this caliber. I know, man. Too bad we couldn't get Geechee on this card, right? Now, of course, Geechee's on the motherfucking card. What you mean? What you mean? Geechee, come on, man. It ain't the West if Geechee ain't involved. Geechee, of course. Of course. You know what I mean? It's an honor. This will be my first time. I've actually had the pleasure of. We just watched on Ruin Your Day, and you can check it out. The watch, Geechee Gotti versus the Saurus. On Shots Fired, I got to host that, but there hasn't been that many Geechee Gotti battles that I've had the pleasure of personally hosting since he battled Saint at the end of 2016 at the Bunker. So this will be the first time, and I'm juiced for that. Fucking head of ice versus Geechee Gotti, man. Like, I can't be more excited about a match than that. Exactly, fresh conference. You know what I mean? That's it. Like I said before, Western Conference and Fresh Coast, they synonyms of one another. It's just the West Coast battle scene operating at its highest, most elite level. Facts. I did host that. This is all true. All true. And I'm glad to be able to do it now. This will be my third city. All three of the major cities of the West Coast, San Diego, Los Angeles, and Oakland, or the Bay Area, I will have been able to say I've hosted a Geechee Gotti battle. Not many motherfuckers can say that shit. But I mean, shit. I mean, Geechee, what you thinking? Geechee, what's your thoughts? I know you think battle of the year, but break it down, because you got a real intellectual mind for battle rap, and you see it from angles that often people seem to misperceive. So what are your thoughts? How do you break down the battle? What's going to happen? What are Diz's strengths going into this? What are Danny's strengths? What does Diz need to watch out for? Who's going to have the stronger rebuttals? Is the order going to matter? If whoever goes first, is that going to determine the victor and the person who loses here? Because I hate to use the phrase "a loser" when referring to a battle of this caliber. But what do you think? What do y'all think? I want specifics. Man, I'm just getting over this bitch-ass cold. I don't know what it is. Hong Kong flu, SARS virus, mad cow disease, but there's been some gnarly-ass fucking colds going around out here. And don't leave your blunt around me, or else you might be coughing. That's your partner for real. I'm just playing. What y'all thinking, though, man? Oh, and by the way, shouts to Geechee Gotti's condolences video produced by, and released on the Ruin Your Day channel, which is a tribute to our fallen angel, Nipsey Hussle, which will be the first video on the Ruin Your Day platform to reach 1 million views. And he joins a club of very, very few select. I want to say there's definitely less than 15, probably less than 10 of us in battle rap culture who have music videos that have over 1 million views. Yeah, KOTD West. This is our first of a few different events. I don't want to spill the lean too hard. So Geechee says, I think Diz has the advantage because the fans are excited to see him back on KOTD. But Danny is the most consistent battler ever, so it's going to come down to who has the better angle, if they use any, because both have unlimited bars. Yeah, I agree, and I really can't see this being a battle where there's not angles, because they're both angle-heavy rappers, and particularly when they're going against other anglers. And yes, we're going to see our fair share of bars. I think Danny's going to have more straight bars, but the direct hits are going to be coming courtesy of Diz. And if Danny's able to withstand and rebuttal that, or if his bars are strong enough to supersede the particular angles that Diz are going to use, that's what's going to determine the victor of this battle. Because it's real hard, remember, we saw Danny angle very, very hard versus T-Rex, and due to a lot of other circumstances that were outside of that didn't necessarily, there's mixed results as far as the general consensus of that. But when Danny used angles against B-Dot, it was some of the most creative angles ever used, and the fact that he even introduced his angle in the first round and didn't really fully address it, and he would like sprinkle little elements of it but didn't fully address it until it came full circle back in the third round, and it hit like that was like a Mike Tyson lightning uppercut when it hit B Dot. And now I've always been a fan I've always said that B Dot took that battle, but you know my opinion tends to change when I watch it. The first time I saw it, I thought it was Danny. And then ever since then, I've thought it was B-Dot. And there's other times I've thought it was Danny. So it's like, this is one of those situations where there's no real clear way to predict a winner. It's going to come down to who captures the moment harder. Because all the angles and all the bars are available at these artists' disposal. Who's going to utilize them to their fullest ability? Nino says that he's got Danny taking it. Geechee says that there's a slight advantage to Diz, although he didn't say that he thinks Diz is going to take it. So we going to see. You know, we got a lot of the major factors speaking up right now. Yeah, B-Dot, I mean, to me... Oh, you said you had Danny in the B-Dot. So to me, I had Danny in the B-Dot battle upon first viewing. And there were certain reasons why, because, you know... my tendency to be like, maybe it's just like the thick layers of pimp just permeating through my DNA, and just the fact that I break so many hoes that I looked at certain things that B-Dot was saying as, I don't even want to use the words Captain Saverish or Sipish, because now when I rewatch the battle, I don't look at it like that, and I understand that he was speaking on respecting black queens, which is something totally different, and it made me kind of have a different perspective on the battle. So once I kind of looked at it from that angle, I kind of edged it to B-Dot. So it's really hard to say. It's very preferential, that match right there. We might even need to watch that again, but I co-hosted that battle, and I watched it on Ruin Your Day, and both times I had a different winner. The first time in person I said Danny, and the second time I said B-Dot. So, you know. Either way, this is the most exciting card I've had a privilege of being involved in several years. Shouts to Organic, Gully, Kingfly, J-Pro, myself, Avocado, everybody involved in the card. Shouts to fucking Beast Gatlin, all the Death Certificate. Shouts to Malathion. Shouts to Prof Nasty. Shouts to Smokey. Okay, well, hold on, MBD. I love you, MBD. You know I love you more than life itself. Like, I would literally jump in front of a bullet for that booty. You feel me? Like, if there is, like, I would save you and your booty separately, and they would both get saved. But so what my good friend MBD said is, this is home court advantage for Diz. The crowd love him. Danny will be in the same position Rocky Balboa was versus Drago. It's possibility he can win the crowd. Can't call it though. I mean, this is, yes, Dizaster is overall a more esteemed and more popular battle rapper, particularly in the West Coast, but this is over 300 miles away from either one of their homes. So I really don't think that there's a clear home court advantage. Now, there may be certain advantages that Diz has, his name being more popular, the fact that he's battled overall more, the fact that he hasn't battled on this stage in a longer time. Yes, those are advantages, but I hesitate to use the term home court when neither of them are from Oakland. You know what I mean? Now, King of the Dot, as far as I'm concerned, Danny is a King of the Dot legend as well. He hasn't really taken any clear losses on that stage. Dizaster, on the other hand, has. Dizaster has been kicked off of King of the Dot. He's been banned from King of the Dot. Now, I'm not saying this. I know I'm not trying to have my Lebanese pom-poms up. I'm going to put away my Lebanese pom-poms, because this is not me defending Dizaster or saying that Danny has home court advantage by any means. I just don't believe that there is a home court advantage. And all of y'all who have been, and I know all of y'all have been to events in Oakland know that there is no Oakland don't give a fuck about LA, period. Oakland don't give a fuck about anything other than the moment and who captures the moment and who has the dopest bars. I feel that that's a solid point. I can't argue with that. I can't argue with that. Although if King of the Dot is Dizaster's home stage, keep in mind he has been now, not only was he banned from that stage once for over a year, but he has now not battled on that stage in over a year and a half. So, and Denny has had King of the Dot matches. So, that's true as well, correct? Yes, it is going to be dope no matter what. And I am not disagreeing with any of the points that anyone is making. This is King of the Dot alumni. Now, if you really, once again, if we're going to talk technicality, Dizaster got his start on the Grind Time stage. Dizaster's first battle in this format was Dizaster versus Thesaurus on Grind Time. Danny Meyer's first battle was on King of the Dot. Now, he had already battled on A-Hat, correct, yes. But his first major battle that hit 100,000 views was him versus Rumnitty. So, I'm just, I hate to be like, well, actually, I'm not trying to be blah, 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 blah. That's the last thing I want to do. Just trying to call it down the middle. I respect and appreciate all opinions, especially from my partners like y'all, who I value the opinions of tremendously, who are experts and avid participants in the field. I just, want to bring a couple certain points to people's attention so we realize that it's not, I really don't think this is, well, you know what? We're not going to really know until that moment where Organic says, "Wrap around my left, introduce yourself," and Danny Myers does his thing, and we hear the reaction, and then we hear Dizaster say, "I'm in Oakland," and it's not going to be until then that we know who has the crowd favorite. Now, also keep this in mind: being a crowd favorite and having that to your advantage can be worked against you, especially in a place like Oakland where it's not really about anything. Remember, Oakland is the place where Johnny Storm beat Thesaurus. Now, that might not mean something to some of y'all, but at the time, Thesaurus was the top battle rapper in Northern California, and Johnny Storm is from Florida, and came out and claimed a victory in Dizaster's own backyard. So there's no real way to, there's so many different factors at play. Yeah, that's when I first started hosting. Actually, I had hosted on stage, but something else I wanted to bring to people's attention that, which makes this battle very, very exciting to me. And I don't think I've actually had the chance to say this yet, but this battle right here, the venue where this battle is being held at, is the very first venue that I ever battled on stage at. And it was at an event called Oakland Mic Check 2002, 2003. And I'm very, very excited to be able to return to this environment. My crew, Delmon crew, who used to see hosting all the Grind Time battles, my brothers Plex and Jax, we used to rock that stage. Before it had the current name, it used to be called, first it was called the Black Box Theater, then it was called the Oakland Box Theater, and now it has a new name. There is footage of that battle, but I wish I knew where the fuck it was. It was a tournament, and I got to the semifinals, and I lost to Reef the Lost Cause from Demigods from the East Coast. Shouts to him. It was an incredible battle, and I won my first two battles on that stage, so it was lit. Plex still around doing his damn thing. Hopefully he'll pop up at this event. Once again, slap my new album, A Saint and a Tyrant. Shouts to all my homeboys, 667 Colt. Fuck with all of our music. My boy Bobby Butcher got a new album coming out soon. Dead Ted. My partner Zudaville got a new album coming out. My partner Ilmac got a new album coming out. They're all fire. Fuck with all of our music. Fuck with my homeboys' death certificate music. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all that. Well, it might happen again. Not necessarily grind time, but you may just see Plex at this event. Man, I got this vitamin C gave me the super hiccups. Whoever has heard my album, A Saint and the Tyrant, please let these motherfuckers know how ill that shit is. What happened to Matt Ills? I don't know. Matt Ills is doing his thing somewhere out there in Florida. Shouts to him, man. I hope he's doing good. But I'm excited to come back to Oakland, get a chance to catch up with a bunch of old friends, new friends. It's going to be like a family reunion and witness these dope, high-powered, exciting, groundbreaking rap battles, which are basically hip-hop at its purest form at this point. You know, the history with Grind Time, I wouldn't necessarily say it was dark. It was just we were just a bunch of kids that didn't really know what we were doing and got a little ahead of ourselves. I agree, you know, there's every region, and I'm a fan of every different scene in hip-hop and every region representing for themselves, having their own flavor, their own sound, their own dialect and phrasing and eccentricities. And I feel like Grind Time was a real ambassador for hip-hop culture in that regard. Man, these hiccups are getting the best of me. That's what I get for chugging vitamin C, apparently. Wouldn't it be torture if you just had hiccups for the rest of your life? Like every 6 seconds you would hiccup? That's what I feel like right now. See, to me, the Fresh Coast style, although people did define, the more comedic, laid-back, jokey, multi-heavy style as the Fresh Coast style, to me, the Fresh Coast is the same thing that Western Conference means, just top caliber, high-powered West Coast battle rap at its finest. Egg? That did not help, bro. That did not help my hiccups. Exactly. Yeah, that was seriously suck. Okay. Egg. Dude, the more I'm saying egg, the more the hiccup. Oh, I think they're gone now. You were right. Someone get Matthew a free t-shirt that says, I saved Lush One's hiccups. Anyway, oh fuck, bro. I'm gonna have to deal with this. But look, much love. Any final thoughts? Yeah, jits up, hose down. Jits up or get lit up. You feel me? Please pop up May 18th and 19th. Exactly. And I understand why. It was originally, I feel like a lot of that was the East Coast trying to discredit the West Coast movement and saying, oh, there's just a bunch of white boys with nerd bars out there, when that was never really the case. It was just a way for certain regions to maintain their quasi-dominance. A small wiener on my forehead? What? Listen. You stupid as fuck. Yeah, dude, it's a dick. It grows out of the center of my head, bro. I really appreciate all of y'all. Stay the fuck tuned. More announcements coming. Once again, slap my new album. Slap all the homies' new music. Shouts to Avocado for the trailer. It's going the fuck down. You feel me? That way.